Let's just start with a truth that's going to rewire how you see everything. The desire for a more positive experience is itself a negative experience. Now, this isn't just some clever phrase from Mark Manson. It's a diagnosis of a problem that runs almost all of our lives. We're all programmed to chase happiness, right? But what if that very chase is the source of our misery? This is Unspoken Rules. And here we expose the psychological truths that operate just beneath the surface of everything you do. Today, we're dissecting this self-sabotaging hunt for feeling good. We're going to reveal what the most powerful and resilient people already understand about status, about control, and about the very architecture of their own minds. This isn't self-help. It's a psychological toolkit. Okay, so our first psychological truth is the happiness paradox. Look, you are under constant assault by a culture that demands you be happier, look better, and achieve more. It's relentless. But this obsession with the positive, it's a trap. It's like a psychological poison that just keeps reinforcing what you lack, leaving you feeling perpetually dissatisfied and insecure. And this isn't just a feeling, it's a psychological law. The philosopher Alan Watts called it the backwards law. Think about it. The more you desperately chase confidence, the more you feel like an imposter. The more you crave love, the more you just broadcast a kind of neediness that pushes it away. The very act of pursuing something signals to your own brain that you don't have it, that you are not enough. It's a perfect system of self-sabotage. So what's the solution? It's a complete reversal of everything you've ever been taught. If chasing the positive creates a negative experience, then confronting the negative, well, that generates a positive one. By accepting your anxiety, you actually rob it of its power. By owning your flaws, you become almost bulletproof to criticism. Real power isn't found in avoiding pain, it's forged by turning right toward it and using it as a tool. Now let's look at the actual mechanism that keeps us locked in this paradox. Manson calls it the feedback loop from hell. And honestly, it's the invisible architecture of your own internal prison. This is the engine of modern anxiety, and most people don't even know they're trapped inside it. Here it is, the four-step process of your own self-torture. It starts with a simple negative feeling. Anger, anxiety, doesn't really matter what. But then step 2 kicks in. Our culture of toxic positivity makes you feel bad about feeling bad. You get anxious about being anxious. And this is a total failure of metacognition. You start judging yourself for your own emotions, which just creates more shame, more anxiety, and the loop just accelerates into a downward spiral. And you need to understand, this is not a personal failing. It's a cultural epidemic. Social media has weaponized comparison, flooding your brain with these images of curated perfection. It creates an environment where just feeling bad for a moment feels like a personal defect. You become stressed about your stress, guilty about your guilt. It's an internal pressure cooker, and social comparison is the flame keeping it hot. So if we're all trapped in this mental prison that we built ourselves, how in the world do we get out? How do you actually break this cycle? The escape route isn't another cute self-help trick. It's a radical act of rebellion. You just stop fighting. You grant yourself permission to feel negative emotions. The moment you accept that life is inherently difficult and that pain is a feature, not a bug, the self-judgment just dissolves. You can look at your anxiety and say, you know what? You're welcome here. And in that moment, you starve the feedback loop of the fuel it needs to survive. Okay, so let's take this internal strategy and weaponize it for the external world. This idea of accepting the negative isn't about being passive or weak. No, it's the foundation for what we're going to call the currency of indifference. And let's be clear, this is not apathy. It is a calculated, strategic tool for navigating power dynamics. And we have to be super precise here. Apathy is weakness. It's a fear-based paralysis. Strategic indifference, on the other hand, is a strength. It is the conscious, surgical allocation of what you care about. You have a finite amount of emotional energy, and you choose to invest it only in what aligns with your core values, letting all the rest of the noise just burn itself out. And this brings us to a critical principle. You literally cannot be indifferent to adversity unless you are deeply, deeply committed to something more important than that adversity. Your values, they're your anchor. When your mission is crystal clear, all the petty insults, the minor setbacks, the opinions of completely irrelevant people, they become powerless. Now we elevate this concept because this internal strategy has profound external consequences. Indifference isn't just a mindset, it's a broadcast signal of status. It is one of the most powerful unspoken rules of social power. And make no mistake, we are all playing a status game. It's a primal drive baked right into our DNA. In this game, Every single interaction is a negotiation of value. And indifference? Well, indifference is a power move. The person who needs less validation from the interaction automatically signals higher status. It's that simple. Game theory actually gives us a cold, logical model for this. In any status exchange, the ideal outcome for the group is mutual respect. That sounds great, right? But it's an unstable state. The most stable, predictable, winning strategy for an individual trying to raise their own status is indifference. By being less invested, by ignoring bids for attention, you get a status boost. From a purely rational standpoint, it's the dominant move. Just start observing this in your own life. High-status individuals are calm, they're non-reactive, they listen more than they talk. Their power doesn't require a big performance. Low-status individuals, though, they're needy and reactive. They get defensive, they talk over others. They're constantly fishing for validation because their sense of worth is completely external. This is a fundamental law of power, so listen close. In any human interaction, the person who is least reactive holds the frame. Their calm is a signal that their self-worth is internal and it is not up for negotiation. That is the source of their control. And all of this leads us to our final and most critical psychological truth. All of these concepts, indifference, managing your reactions, choosing your values, they all boil down to a single fundamental choice. The choice between a victim mindset and a mindset of personal agency. The victim mindset is a prison of blame. It outsources responsibility to other people, to the world, to your circumstances. And yeah, it offers the temporary comfort of being blameless, but it comes at the cost of being totally powerless. The accountable mindset takes radical ownership, not for what happens to you, but for how you respond to it. All of your power is located right there, in that choice. You have to understand this. You are always choosing. Every single moment, you're choosing what to care about. You are choosing how to frame your reality. A meaningful life is not found by escaping problems. It's found by choosing better problems, and then choosing to take full responsibility for engaging with them. And now that you understand these patterns, the feedback loop, the power of indifference, the trap of victimhood, you're going to start seeing them everywhere. In yourself, in others, in the world around you. Now you see it, and you can't unsee it. So you're at a crossroads. You can click away from this, go back to living on autopilot, driven by forces you now know exist. Or you can make the deliberate choice to see reality as it actually is, not as you wish it were. Choose clarity. Subscribe and join the small percentage of people who are committed to seeing the world clearly. Like this, to signal that you understand, and turn on notifications to continue your training. Now, for your first act of conscious choice, what is one victim narrative you will eliminate from your life starting today? Declare it in the comments. We'll see you next time.